Hello, my name is Sebbi, and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Wednesday, June 1st, 2016, and I'm once again in a jungle. However, this is a different jungle as I'm already on my way back home, and I think it's basically Murphy's Law that states once you found an item you were after for a really long time, you will find plenty of more of those items as you don't need them anymore, and I think this is exactly what is going on here in my Minecraft world. Now, after I obtained all the resources I wanted to obtain, I will find plenty of more jungles on my way back home, but that's alright, as it gives us the chance to find an Ocelot, which would be really fantastic. And so I can now reclaim my bed, I can reclaim my torch, and I can continue to walk back home. And yeah, so June 1st. In a few days, oh, there's a skeleton. So I need to deal with that guy before I can continue to talk about... Haha, get shot by your very own arrow. Alright. So, thank you for your XP bubbles. And no, I don't need your bones. And okay, moving on. Yeah, so, June 1st. In a couple of days, my next study will begin, and I'm already excited about this, and I really hope that all the 24 students that have signed up for the study will participate in it, and will participate over the whole time, so that I get a lot of good results. And yeah, I really hope that the results are good, because I'm really dependent on good results to make some progress with my PhD. And I'm also quite dependent on the students, so it would be really sad if some of the students wouldn't show up, or if some of the students would drop out of the study. Of course, there's another jungle. Oh dear, I was so right, Once I found my first jungle, I will find plenty of other jungles. Oh dear, of course, this had to happen, but alright. Yeah, it would be really sad if some of the students would drop out of the study throughout the 4 meetings, because yeah, I need them to participate in all of the 4 meetings, or well, I can't use their results. And in this case, I really hope that everything will work out well, and that all 24 students will show up on Friday. So please keep your fingers crossed that all the 4 meetings will work out well, that all the students will show up and participate in the study, and that the results are fantastic, because I really need some good results to make some progress with my PhD. And yeah, so I think I will keep you posted about the progress with my study. And yeah, it will begin on Friday, so please keep your fingers crossed. And what else? Well, it's really hot here in Germany. Well, it's not that hot, but it's too hot for me, and it started to rain, and currently it's raining several times, several times per day, and this results in a very high humidity, and that's bad. That's really bad. Basically, I start to sweat by just sitting around, and so this is really not my cup of tea. And it's just June. The June has just begun. And so, yeah, I think I have 3 more months of this craziness ahead of me, and I really like to escape this crazy weather. I really like to run away. I really like to travel to Antarctica or so. And ooh, there is a lava pool inside of the jungle. Oh dear, I think this could be bad. I think this could really cause some issues for the jungle. I think, oh dear. Bad news for everyone. I hope this whole jungle will not burn down now. Oh dear. Okay. Now this gigantic tree is on fire. Okay. That's good. I think this is bad. Better to leave before the flames will surround us, and then we are trapped or so. Oh dear. Okay, there are some jungle sheep Interesting. And yeah, so we have a very high humidity, and that's bad. That's really bad. I really like to just run away and travel to Antarctica so to escape this bad climate. And as I said, it's just June, so several more months of summer are ahead of me, and that's really bad. That's not what I like to see and hear, and that's nothing I like to think about. But oh well, I think I just have to endure this again, and hopefully at some point I can escape this bad climate and travel to a place where I personally feel better. And I was so shocked on Tuesday. Is this the same jungle or is this a different jungle? But this jungle continues. Okay, this is crazy. This is so crazy. Now, after I found a jungle, I see so much more jungle. This is unfair. This is so unfair. Why? Why? And yeah, on Tuesday morning, I was running again, and this was quite demanding because yeah, running in a very humid air is really stressful. You are sweating like crazy, and once you get back home, you're still sweating like crazy, and yeah, this is stressful. But as I was running, and well, I wasn't close to a heat stroke or so I'm not that crazy that I go over my limits. But basically, I can say it was already too warm for me. I saw other people who walked their dog or who were cycling or so, and they wore long pants and a jacket. And I was running in my shorts and t-shirt, and I thought, how can you do this? It's way too warm. Why are you wearing a jacket? Why are you wearing long pants? How is this even possible? Are you nuts? And then, almost before getting back home, I saw a girl on her bicycle, and not only she wore a jacket, she also wore a scarf. And it's, I don't know, on Tuesday morning we almost had fog because the humidity is so high, and it was a little bit hazy and such a crazy climate, and she was wearing a scarf, and I don't know how this is possible. I mean, I wasn't close to a heat stroke, but as I said, it was way too warm for me, and then I see other people wearing winter clothes basically, and that's crazy. That's so crazy. Oh, I found again this beautiful Grand Canyon biome. That's amazing. So this is really crazy. And am I still on the right track? Let me bring out the compass. Yeah, I'm still on the right track. This is good. So this is crazy, and yeah, I'm really suffering under this climate, and oh wow, unfortunately, as I said, some more months of summer ahead of me, and I'm definitely not a summer person. And it's so weird when I hear from others, finally it got warmer a bit, and finally I can enjoy the sun or so, and I just think, why do you have to do this? This is way too warm. This is too much. 20 centigrade is already too much for me. With 20 centigrade I'm just wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and it's too warm, and you are happy and you complain when it's just 20 centigrade because it's way too cold. What is going on with you? What is wrong with you? But I think I'm just the wrong person. And yeah, okay, moving on to the next topic. A topic why Germany is a crazy place, or why I'm not so happy of certain things in Germany. For instance, well, it's already a couple of weeks ago, I was at a restaurant, and yeah, as I don't really like soda, I mostly order maybe a plain juice or so, or well, depending on the time and the meal and so on, I order a glass of wine, and then I usually order a glass of water. And yeah, well, after having traveled to France, Iceland, and many other countries, I'm basically used to the tradition, or the way that, well, once you get into a restaurant, the first thing you get is carafe with water or a bottle with water or any other container that can contain water, and this water is for free. So you have a lot of water, and if you have emptied that carafe or container or jerry can or whatever they use, then you get a new one, and you even don't have to ask for it. And the same thing was a little bit in Iceland. In one of the restaurants next to a very interesting natural phenomenon, I'm now speaking of the Gullfoss, the very huge waterfall. There's a very good, well, it's not really a restaurant, it's, well, you can get some good food in this tourist center next to the Gullfoss, and next to the line where you can order your food, they have a lot of carafes with water, and so you can take so much water as you like. But here in Germany, it's, well, they are not used to this tradition, and they act so strangely. Yeah, so when I'm then in a restaurant, I say, can I please have a glass of water? And then she, or well, the waitress or the waiter asks, with well, calm water or with some bubbles basically, and well, I just say, well, plain water, just open your faucet, hold the glass under the faucet and let some water fill in, and that's exactly what I like to have. And this is all the time strange for them. And well, last time, as I was in this one restaurant I'm now referring to, once we wanted to pay, I had to pay for that water. And that's so weird. This is really a thing I'm no longer used to. Well, I'm not that much, I rarely go into a restaurant in Germany because I love cooking, and I noticed that when I cook something for myself, it tastes better than when I order something in a restaurant. And so I rarely go to a restaurant, and moreover, restaurants are more expensive, so why should I do this? And yeah, this once again really reminded me how bad the German restaurant culture, or the how unfriendly or so Germans are. And that's, I don't know, I mean, I'm really used, after having, as I said, traveled to different countries and being used to, okay, you get into a restaurant, the first thing you get is some water for free, and here in Germany, at first you have to explain them, please just use the water coming right out of your faucet, that's good enough, I don't want to have bottled water or something special, just open your faucet and give me some water. And this is often hard to understand for them. And then the next thing, suddenly I had to pay for that water, and I thought, okay, that's weird. That's really weird. Oh, there's a creeper. That's not weird, but that's dangerous. So time to sleep. That's bad. And in this case, I really like to know how is it where you live. Do you get water for free in a restaurant, or do you have to pay for your water, or is this also not a normal thing that you get water, as it is over here in Germany? And yeah, it's just annoying. It's really bad that they are not used to this tradition. And if I would open an own restaurant, basically, I would give my customers free water, so much water that they, more water than they can drink, basically. And I don't know what is going on here. And so I'm really curious, is this the same thing at your place, or is this, are you in a more friendly region where you get your water for free? I'm really curious about this, so let me know in the comment section. And speaking of the comment section, my usual spiel, I like to answer your questions. So if you do have a question about me, about my research, about a certain topic, I don't have really to be into that topic. Just ask away, and I will try my very best to answer this question. And it can be also some weird questions. For instance, a weekend game asked what would be my favorite superpower or so. And if you do have a question like weekend game, then just ask it, and I would be happy to answer it. And but now I also like to know how are your restaurants? Do you have trouble getting water, or is this a normal thing? And boat time. So, yeah, so much about this. And speaking of weekend game and speaking about questions, yeah, speaking of questions, weekend game. I have read that Germany uses a lot of renewable energy. Is there a strong belief in environmental protection there? Yes, and well, basically, yes, there is a strong belief in environmental protection. The main problem is, however, that most German citizens or most Germans aren't consequent enough. So, yeah, they always say, okay, we have to do something about it. We have to preserve the nature. We have to preserve our environment. We have to reduce our emissions. But when it comes, okay, I think I should give Minecraft some time to generate the ooh, is this once again the water temple we saw, or is this a different water temple? Are there now two water temples close to each other? But yeah, over there is a water temple. Alrighty then. Am I back to the place where two water temples are? And speaking of water temples, Mud Bucket. Yeah, if you have watched the most recent episode of the Salty Dog SMP, and then you saw what Mud Bucket has done, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. He basically removed all the water around the water temple, and yeah, now you can explore the thing without water, and that's crazy. That's really crazy. I never attacked a water temple because, yeah, I talked about this as I saw those two water temples next to each other. Well, I don't have the right gear, I need to prepare a little bit more, and oh, there's another water temple, so maybe I found again the place with the two water temples. And okay, I'm now on this island, and I have to continue my boat, right? Alright. Now I'm lost. Yeah, so Mud Bucket is crazy, that's the bottom line of what I wanted to say. Next, weekend games question, yeah, in general, yes. I think most Germans want to protect the environment. And yeah, they're all about we need to reduce emissions. And of course, we do have a lot of renewable energy. For instance, recently they built more or less a huge wind park off the coast of Helgoland. So Helgoland is our only real offshore island, and I think to the northwest of Helgoland they built a huge wind park with really gigantic wind turbines, and yeah, that's really cool. That's really amazing that they are doing something like this. But the problem is Helgoland is in the northwest, or at the northwestern part of Germany, and how to bring the electricity generated up there to the southern part of Germany. And well, of course, you can have overhead power cables. Aren't the best solution? And this would be, or this is the way how we normally do this. So yeah, just build some new overhead power cables, and hi, this was interesting. And then you can, well, of course, transport your energy. And I think this is the same thing in your region. You have some cables, and this is how you bring your electricity from place A to place B. And yeah, the main problem, however, is that, well, if you build those things, then you suddenly have those cables in the landscape. And how can you do this? How can you dare to have cables in the landscape? This is ruining the shape of the landscape. This is ruining the nature. Why are you doing this? Are you nuts? And so they start to complain again, although they like to have renewable energy, and they don't think about that, well, somehow this renewable energy has to be delivered to their houses. And yeah, the next thing is, of course, you can also build wind turbines, well, on somewhere on the mainland and not off the coast or so. And if someone comes up with such an idea, how can you suggest such an idea? How can you dare to build a wind turbine in this landscape? This is completely ruining the landscape. Why are you coming up with this crazy idea? So yeah, basically it boils down to the thing that well, they like to protect the environment, but they don't want to do something for it. They don't want to sacrifice anything for it. And, well, of course, the main pollution and the main emissions comes from the industry. So, of course, our politicians should be a little bit more rigid. We should have different laws to really enforce that we reduce the emissions, and we are already about to do this, but still we need to make more progress. And it's really sad that all the important people in the industry have such a high influence on the politics and on their politicians, and they say, okay, if we have to reduce our emission, then of course the production gets more expensive, so we have to let people go or so, and or we have to increase the prices. And so they apply pressure to the politicians, and that's of course bad, and this results then in, well, installing out the attempts of reducing the emissions. So this is also a completely different problem. And, well, still, I think if the basic thought of, okay, we need to protect the environment would be a little bit stronger in all the Germans, and if they would start to act like this, I think we would deal with things differently, and we would apply more pressure to on the industry, and I think we would have much more force if there would be a higher will to really enforce all the things. But yeah, for instance, I see this all the time in my very own house where I live. I'm living in the 5th floor. We do have an elevator, but I rarely use that elevator. I only use it when I have some big bags because I'm driving or I'm traveling to somewhere, and then I'm carrying this bag down. The narrow staircase is a little bit problematic because then I might get stuck there because it's way too narrow to carry a large bag. So at this moment I use the elevator, but normally I avoid using it because on the one hand it consumes energy, and on the other hand, if I walk up those stairs to the 5th floor, then I do automatically do some cardio training, which is good for my health, which is good for my body, and so that's the best way you can do, and you can go about it. You can save some energy, and you even do something for your health. And this is something where I always notice, okay, Germans are way too comfortable. They say, okay, we want to save energy, but really doing something to save the energy, this is too much. This is, how can you ask that they don't use their car to drive to the grocery store or so? I mean, yeah, you can walk there, but why walking? Because when going by car is faster and is, well, less stressful, is easier. So you don't have to walk. You don't have to use your own muscles. You don't have to use your very own legs. So using the car is easier. And in addition, I think it's also a little bit the time management. If you I try, at least as long as I don't have to travel long distances. So let's say as long as it's walking distance, to just walk to the places, or, well, go by bike or so. But of course, you have to start a little bit earlier. And at this point, Germans are once again too comfortable. Why should I start or begin my commute a little bit earlier when I can use my car and begin a little bit later? And once again, they are just way too comfortable to really do the cut and to do something. And in the end, all scream for renewable energy, all scream for protecting the environment, but in the end, really doing something for it to implement things and to make sure that it's a success, that's a little bit too much. And they always find a reason why something isn't good and why they shouldn't do something. And in this case, it's really a sad story. And, well, of course, as I said, oh, hi. It's well, the main part is, of course, coming from the industry, so we should enforce more laws to reduce the emission of the industry. But I think it has to start in the minds of every single human being that, okay, I have to be more responsible with my energy consumption, and I have to, well, act differently. And I think this is really the part we are lacking the most right now. And yeah, so much about this. I hope it was interesting. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope you will be joining me in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, my name is Sebbi. See you!